One more face-off. Was that it for the linesman? Larionov plays it back. LaPointe in the center ice area. Under 20 seconds. The Stanley Cup is coming up. They'll roll it out soon. On the big ice surface here at the brand new building in Washington. 9 seconds. They count them down. The Detroit Red Wings have won the Stanley Cup 1998.
Right, Barry Smith, I'll try to take it easy on you, but here are two guys that I know Scotty Bowman gives so much credit to, and maybe you don't get enough. Barry Smith and Dave Lewis. Barry, tell us about the key to a 4-game sweep again this year.
Well, our guys are disciplined, they're patient, they stay within inside the system, they all work hard, they believe in each other, and they're determined, Ron. I mean, they're determined.
Anything that you can pinpoint. I mean, Osgood's a kid, 25, all the pressure in the world on him. Larry Murphy's just skating over here. Can you pinpoint maybe the performances or the magical things that happened?
Well, Ozzy battled. I mean, he battled from day one of the season, not from the playoffs. There were so many questions that had to be answered. He answered every one. Steve Yzerman's leadership, Sergei Fedorov, Dougie Brown today. This is a team. This is what this organization's all about, his team.
What about Scotty? He was really riled up in Game 2. Barry, anything different about his approach to winning his 8th title?
When he gets into it, he gets into it. So we like him riled up every once in a while.
Well, congratulations. I said he speaks so highly of you. Enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The captain of the champions for the 2nd year in a row, Stevie Y. Congratulations, Steve. You can put it into words this time.
Oh, it's unbelievable. You know, we won one time, and you think your career's complete, and all of a sudden we're back in the playoffs, and you realize you want to win it just as much, and it's every bit as important. So we're just as thrilled as we were, if not more, last year.
Really big. And you know, Steve, first time it was such a relief for all you've been through. You think it'll be any different? Here's Vladdy right here. I assume, and I hate to ask it because it's your prerogative, who you'll hand the cup to, but you want to just surprise us?
I think you know.
Yeah.
I think you know.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Scott.
Beautiful effort for you and your mates. There's Joey Kocur. Joey, you might as well just describe what you're seeing there.
Well, this is what we built our season around this year. And just look at the smile on his face. It's worth it, all the hard work.
It's like seeing a guy as tough as you with tears in your eyes. Beautiful thing. Congratulations. Hey, Brendan, why don't you give me that announcement?
What's that?
Why did you just tell him?
I've been keeping this a secret for a long time. I don't know if Steve wants me to tell anybody, but I think it's kind of not really a coincidence that he bought Conn Smythe's cottage just before the playoffs.
Hey, just a thought on what it means personally. You got a big wedding coming up, and I know you battled through, and you talked a lot about going through that Olympic experience, what a grind the whole year was, and you just came, I thought, really through with big hits and big moments in this series.
Well, it was a grind, you know, and it was bittersweet going in the playoffs. You love to be in the finals, in the playoffs, But when you're not 100%, you're a little bit nervous. I just adjusted my game, shortened my shifts, and it can't say enough about the depth of this team. And guys stood up and scored big goals. It allowed our team to play a team concept that's unbelievable.
Well done.
Thank you.
There's Brendan Shanahan of the Detroit Red Wings. They're going to announce the Conn Smythe Trophy, so let's send it to the public address system. Oh, here's Scotty. Scotty, stand by. We're going to announce the Conn Smythe, and then, of course, present the cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman to present the Conn Smythe Trophy to the 1998 Stanley Cup Playoffs Most Valuable Player.
The winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy as the most valuable player, a unanimous selection for a great leader and a great player, Steve Yzerman.
Well, Scotty, you've got one for Suella, one for yourself. All 5 kids are handled. Now you've got 8. What are you going to do with that 8th ring?
Well, you know, Ron, I think I'm very fortunate, one of the fortunate people in sports, that I've been with so many great teams, and this is really a dream come true after our tragedy of last season. And I knew the way our team felt about Vladimir Konstantinov, that they would give every bit that they could to win this cup.
How about
Sergei Konstantinov?
Absolutely. The two, you see the love in every eye here. That's more important than the cup itself almost. But Bill Cowley, you mentioned him the other day, and I thought that was pretty nifty. An Ottawa area kid that was a hero of yours growing up. Yeah. And Yzerman happens to be, just got the Conn Smythe. Can you compare the two of them?
Well, Steve is, I've had a lot of great players play for me, but the way he's performed since I got to Detroit got better and better. And I'm glad he got recognized to play for his country. That meant a lot to him. And he's just right at the very top.
Big trophies now coming on the ice, Scotty. Just a quick comment on, I guess it's an impossible time to speak ahead, but when you win 8, the temptation's got to be there to go for number 9 and 10 as a player personnel director.
No, I have enough cups. If I do come back, it won't be to try to just beat a record. I thought about it last year. I'm going to talk to the owner and the manager, and I got to hang them up sometime, but it'll be up to the 3 of us to discuss it, and I'll make my decision in a couple of weeks.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Ron.
There's William Scott Bowman, winner of 8 Stanley Cups as a head coach, tying the immortal total. Here's Gary
Congratulating the
Bettman.
Washington Capitals on a great season. Irene and Abe Poland, George McPhee, Ronnie Wilson, all the players. This was a great way to initiate the MCI Center. Washington has become a hockey city. And now let's talk about Hockey Town. Vladimir Konstantinov and Sergei Konstantinov have been great inspirations for their teammates. To win the Stanley Cup back-to-back means overcoming adversity, means doing your best, and I know your teammates and all of us hope that the courage they've shown will be an inspiration to you as you continue your recovery. This is a great team, a great organization. Mike and Marian Illich, Ken Holland, Scotty Bowman, all of the players, you ought to be congratulated. Steve Yzerman, let's do it again. Come get the Stanley Cup.
Here's the owner of the Detroit Red Wings and two-time Stanley Cup champions, Mike Ilitch. Mike, maybe describe the feelings you have here in Washington tonight.
Boy, did that sound good when you said that. You're just sinking in now.
Well, you've earned it.
Oh, thank you very much. It's you know, with Vladdy here, and the guys wanted him here, and it was very important, and they wanted it to stay so focused, and I didn't know how hungry they were. It's hard to measure that, but they have a lot of pride, and Washington's a good team, but our guys really wanted it.
When you see a kid like Chris Osgood thrust into the lurch, I bet you every heart in Detroit was pounding every time. To me, he and Fetisov and Larionov for Vladdy are two great storylines. What maybe strikes you personally?
Well, personally, we had a conversation after the Stanley Cup playoffs last year at my home at our party. And he said, Mr. Ilitch, I hear I'm going to be traded. I go, Ozzy, no way. You're our goalie for the future, you know. And I said, you're going to be with us. And so he just come up after and gave me a good hug. He said, you're right, you know.
And that's something. Well, congratulations to you, Mary, and the family.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You know, I know every hockey player would love to win the Stanley Cup. But I do believe, knowing hockey players as I do, that when they see the cup here being raised tonight by the Detroit Red Wings, they're satisfied. When you look at the great defenseman of last year, Vladimir Konstantinov, and that horrible accident on June the 13th, and now here tonight, and Steve Yzerman, the captain, of course, always doing the right thing, is over and places the cup right in his lap. So nobody can be unhappy with this scene. It's terrific. Let's visit with Ron McLean again now.
Bob, thanks. Here's the goaltender who paced Detroit to their second Stanley Cup. Chris, what are you thinking?
Everything, to be honest. I'm excited. A lot of feelings with Vladdy, everything that's went on here. Something that we set our minds to at the start of the year. Real emotional. I think we're so excited. So emotional. It's a real emotional time for our team right now, and it's been a great run for us.
There's got to be an unbelievable love in this room, born of that, born of how it just seemed like you picked up your team when they needed it. They picked up you when you needed it. Where do you draw? You've always been a confident and great goaltender, but what helped you kind of battle that really tough position that you found yourself in, having to follow Mike's on?
you and Don sticking up for me between periods. That's what it was. I have to thank you guys for that. I mean, that means a lot. The guys stick behind everybody. We've always been like that. It's real emotional for me right now. The guys really played well. Every time something happened to me, they always gave me a pat on the back or a kick and said, "You'll be okay. We're going to do it for you." And I don't really think of it that way. I think of it more for Vladdy and more for the whole team.
Can't top that. Way to go, Chris.
Thank you.
Well, I don't think it comes as any great surprise, Harry, that the Detroit Red Wings would win the Stanley Cup again. Here's Vladimir Konstantinov, and the big defenseman, of course, with him, Vyacheslav Fetisov. The Stanley Cup went to Moscow last year, probably getting set for another trip.
Well, the Detroit Red Wings had the depth, they had the leadership, and they had the coaching. And when you get those three things going in the same direction at this time of the year, here is the rich reward. A chance to lift the Stanley Cup over your head. Every hockey player's dream.
Brendan Shanahan, as he explained, came into the playoffs with a bad back and had to nurse it in this hockey game. That's so tough at times, and he did that. And he feels powerful right now, holding the Stanley Cup again.
He hit the nail on the head, Bob, when he admitted he couldn't perform the way he wants to and usually does. And all kinds of different players pick the slack up, and that's how you win this coveted trophy.
Well, if therapy is what Konstantinov needs, he surely is getting it here tonight in Washington. To be here, to appear to be so happy, and I know he is, and to see this happen. And the very first thing, as you saw Steve Yzerman, the captain, do was to go over and present him with the cup. And now everybody takes his turn. Must be a terrific feeling. Larionov. Everybody who ever laced on a skate dreams of a day like this. Kozlov.
We've all won it, Bob, in our imagination, have we not? But only a select few get a chance to really win it.
It's a marvelous thing, winning the Stanley Cup. 2 in a row. I guess twice as good. And folks, summer is officially here. The Stanley Cup has been presented by Gary Bettman, the commissioner, and the entire organization of the Detroit Red Wings is celebrating tonight.
Well, Detroit proved the old adage that the team with the best players don't always win it, but the players with the best team every year do. Marian Ilitch in pink and Mike Ilitch in the dark suit, proudly hoisting the cup over their heads. Got to remember, when they bought the team, the Stanley Cup was the furthest thing from Detroit.
Might never leave.
But if you're taking an odds-on favorite for next year, you might very well say the Red Wings will be one of the favored teams. Nick Lidstrom, who may well win the Norris Trophy for the best defenseman in the National League, over to congratulate his old defense partner, Konstantinov. What a joy to see him here tonight. The only greater joy, Bob, would to have seen him play.
And that always was a joy. What a series he played last year in Detroit's first Stanley Cup.
Three for Joe Kocur. Right out of the beer league to win his second last year. And this year, another one. And in his own way, he's a big-time contributor on and off the ice. And the Black Aces, Mike Knuble never played a game or 1 or 2 games in this playoff. These guys practice hard all day, every day, waiting if someone gets hurt. They'll be in great shape. Aaron Ward, he's going to be a good defenseman in this league for years to come. It's a very tough mental challenge to be a black ace and practice to be ready if one of the regulars get hurt. But no team that's ever won the Stanley Cup didn't have a great black ace team. The black aces, the poor guys that don't play and just practice in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Fedorov coming back. Didn't play the first part of the season. Got it going. Detroit welcomed him. Scotty is over to talk to that great defenseman, Konstantinov. Scotty winning his 8th Stanley Cup tonight. And everybody remembering Vladimir first and foremost. This is quite an organization. This is quite a team. And they've demonstrated their ability on the ice once again by winning the cup for Detroit.
And the Illich family, they own the Tigers. They're building a new ballpark. The Fox Theater, the great entertainment center in Detroit, thanks to them, rejuvenated. And they are big-time Detroit supporters in all areas, not only in sport.
So Hockey Town has it one more time. The Stanley Cup comes back home to Detroit. And it didn't leave for very long. Did it now? You got her again, Scotty.
Scotty
all week. Number 8.
Scotty will have that over to his house in the backyard. He lives right on a golf course in East Amherst, and every foursome parades through his backyard, takes a minute to look at the Stanley Cup, and continues their golf game. No skates on this year.
Well, you know, Scotty, he wants to do something, he'll do it. He's done it, so that's that.
Now, you don't win this trophy unless you have leadership from all areas, and that's one thing the Red Wings have. It's very difficult to win the first time, and everyone will tell you even tougher to win the second. When you think of Montreal and Edmonton and the New York Islanders winning it 4, 5, 3 times in a row, boy, just look at these players, and that'll tell you it is not an easy trophy to capture.
But you know, Pittsburgh, the last team to win back-to-back Stanley Cups, it seems to be catchy, doesn't it? You win it once, you can't get enough. But it's such a tough, long road to win it once. Imagine how tough it is to win it twice. Detroit has done that tonight here at the NCI Center in Washington. They've defeated the Washington Capitals 4 straight games, and they've won the cup again.
Right on, Ron. Here are the Rouse boys, and I know it's important to have family around when you're in victorious moments. Can you express what it's like to win this thing again, Bob?
Oh, it's always tough to describe, but you know, we fought through a lot of adversity this year. You know, they counted us out real early on. Obviously, the accent had a lot to do with that, and everyone had to pull together. But give Washington some credit. They battled hard, and you know, we just had some guys that stepped up every night. It was a different guy stepping up. You know, it was a real team effort.
Is it important for you to have your son here to see a piece of Canadian tradition at this time?
Well, yeah, I'm real fortunate he could come. You never know when you're going to get this opportunity to come back here. You can't take it for granted, that's for sure. So I wanted to make sure if we did win tonight, he was going to be here. He missed the last one, so I'm sure this is something he'll always remember.
Is this the best hockey team that you've ever played on?
Oh, definitely. You know, we've just got so many different weapons. We play strong defensively. We've got strong goaltending. And then up front, you just don't know who's going to score for us. Dougie Brownkamp, huge. Sergei, Stevie, as always. You know, it's a pretty tough team to stop when we're going.
I know, Bob, that you share in this victory with so many people, but there are always people absent. Who do you think of tonight as you win this second cup?
Well, just my family out on the West Coast. My brother's out there. Actually, my brother was coming in for Game 5 into Detroit, but we'll see him in a couple days there. But, you know, you always think of your family and all the sacrifices they made for you, so I'd like to say thank you to them.
Thanks for this, Bob. Well expressed, and congratulations on another cup.
My pleasure.
There's Bob Rouse of the Detroit Red Wings, shares in this victory tonight as the Red Wings win their second in a row. Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC returns in a moment.
Captain Steve Yzerman with his Conn Smythe Trophy. The Red Wings win 4-1 at MCI tonight. To wrap it up, let's go back to the Detroit dressing room and rejoin Scott Russell. Scott?
Thanks very much, Ron. Yeah, the champagne's starting to flow here. Here's Kirk Maltby, and here's Larry Murphy. Let's go to you, Kirk, first. What do you think about the second one?
It's just as sweet. I mean, we got it last year, and we got a taste of it, and we didn't want to give it up without a fight, and we succeeded at that, and now it's time to party.
So much depth on this hockey team. Can you express how much it means to have so many guys here?
I mean, it's what it's all about. I mean, the Holmstroms, the McCartys, and everyone that, and the LaPointes that came up big with some big, huge goals. I mean, that's what you need to be successful. It took a lot of pressure off a lot of guys, and we were able to go out and just play our game, and here we are again.
They're really soaking us. Way to go, Kirk.
Thanks.
All right, here's Larry Murphy. Geez, Larry, I mean, I thought this was supposed to be over for you a long time ago, but it's working out real well. Your thoughts?
Well, I thought I might as well hang around, win another cup. But I just want to echo what Kurt said. It's always a team effort. Guys like Brent Gilchrist, I mean, he didn't get a chance to play in the finals. He blew his leg out for us. Also got to say hi to my parents in Barrie, Ed and Doris. They couldn't make it tonight. I know they're watching. I love you. My grandmother, the Queen of Bingo in Angus. My brother, Toronto. And hey, Dick Irvin.
Every year. I want to ask you one more thing. We talk so much about how important Vladimir Konstantinov is to this team as an inspiration. You're a defenseman. What kind of a player was he when he played?
I mean, just a fierce competitor, and it just tears my heart out every time I see him. He's got the battle, obviously the battle of his life going on. Him and Sergei Konstantinov. The guys rallied around that fact. That's a huge hole for this team, and I think it put everybody on notice right off the start of the year that, hey, we've got to pick it up. We're going to get back here, and I think the addition of a couple of key players. Thank you, Toronto, for Jamie McCowan and a couple other boys. We did it.
Your old pals in Toronto. Way to go, Larry. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Scott.
There's Larry Murphy. Congratulations to him as he wins his second Stanley Cup with the Detroit Red Wings. Going to bring another one up here right now. Here's Igor Larionov. And Igor, this is obviously a hugely important victory for the team. Your thoughts on this very special night with one of your comrades back?
Well, it's been an emotional season this year, Scott, and we're just happy we did it again for Vlad and Sergei, and it was nice to see Vlad back on the ice with us and to share some glory moments with us, and it's a huge, like, it's unbelievable feeling right now.
Igor, you've played on some awfully good hockey teams in your career in two continents, all over the world. Where does this one rate in terms of its greatness?
Well, I think this is a special team for me. You know, it's the last couple of years we've been going through tough times, and this year was a special year because of injury again, and we got together, and we didn't celebrate it much last year, and we're back again here with you and enjoyed our glorious time again.
You know, one of the great things about the Stanley Cup is when you hold it over your head, you can see your reflection in the cup. And I know you're getting a little older every time you look at yourself, but do you feel like sometimes you can go on forever?
Well, it's been a long season the last couple of years, and it's like 10-month season, and a lot of energy been kind of put in this victory, and I'm just happy. I've been part of this team, and it's a privilege to play for this team, and a privilege to play for Scotty.
Privilege to watch you play. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
There's
I want to say hi to my friends in Vancouver, San Jose, and my wife and kids in Detroit.
Way to go, Igor Larionov. We'll return to the Stanley Cup playoffs in just a moment. Celebration continues in D.C. on the part of Detroit, and there's one of the great warriors, Slava Fetisov, 40 years old, another Stanley Cup with the Detroit Red Wings, and here are two guys that contributed greatly to the Cup. First of all, Chris Draper, and here is Jamie McCowan, who's won his second Cup, his first being with Calgary. Chris, how much does this mean the second time around?
It's great. You know, I think the ultimate moment was us putting the Stanley Cup in Vladdy's lap and him wheeling around out there. From as soon as the playoffs started, it was dedicated to Vladdy, and we did it for him. It's just so great to have him here tonight.
Your mom and dad have been so loyal to you and followed you. Your mom can't even watch you play when it gets critical. Do you want to say thank you to the sacrifices that they've made?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I'm the luckiest guy in the world to have two parents and two sisters like I have, and You know, I just wish they could be here tonight, but I know for sure they're sitting there watching, and knowing my mom and dad, they probably cracked open a little champagne themselves. Mike might be a little sour that he's not getting interviewed, but I'm trying to represent the family well.
Mike and Marilyn, I've never seen two people jump so high as when you scored that goal the other night. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, there's Chris Draper, and here's Jamie McCown. You know, been a long time, as we said, since '89 when you won that cup. Is the second one as sweet or more sweet?
I think definitely this one's a little nicer. You know, you don't realize how tough it is to really win it, and one of the first things that came across me was the fact that this is a moment that you just got to seize, and we were lucky enough that we got through the first 3 games. Washington played unbelievable, really, and then this last game, you know, I guess they lost a little bit of heart, but came through, and right now I'm just happy. I'm happy for all my friends and all the supporters, and about the only thing I wish is that we could have won one in Toronto.
Can I ask you this? This team expressed a lot of confidence in you. They brought you here and they wanted you for this cup run. Does that, to a hockey player, mean a great deal?
Well, not only a hockey player, to anyone. I mean, everyone wants to be appreciated in whatever their job is. And, you know, I thought I was doing an okay job in Toronto, but I guess, you know, business is business, and I'm just happy that for whatever reason I got traded to Detroit.
Congratulations to you, Jamie. I know Larry Murphy, your old Leaf teammate's glad to have you here.
Thank you very much.
There's Jamie McCown, and here's Dougie Brown, who had a great night tonight and was the first star of the game. Congratulations, Dougie. Can you express what the victory means this time?
Well, it's certainly special. And you know, we won last year, and it was so hard, and there's so many emotions wrapped up. And this year we stayed pretty calm all year long and just stayed focused on the end result. And with the tragedy, with the tragedies and everything else that we had over the summer, it just kept us a little more focused.
At the end of the season, you had the shoulder injury, and it looked like for a time you weren't going to make it here. Was that frustrating, and were you just itching to get here?
Well, certainly I was itching to get here, and certainly it was bad timing on an injury. But you know, it healed really quick. I got a lot of help with it, and I'm glad to be back and back in the lineup to help out.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
There's Doug Brown, one of the heroes for the Red Wings tonight as they capture their second consecutive Stanley Cup. Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC, and the Stanley Cup playoffs will continue in a moment. He is in evidence right in the middle of the room as they celebrate their second consecutive cup. Here are two guys that played roles, huge roles for the Wings all season long, Brent Gilchrist and Paul Boyer, the equipment manager. Brent, first to you, 1989, the Stanley Cup final against Calgary, and you came out on the bad end with Montreal, and now you've got it.
This is unbelievable. I mean, I didn't play the last 4 games. It was disappointing, but all the disappointment's gone now when you pick that thing up. My teammates were so gracious when they, you know, gave the cup to the guys who have never had it before, and it's the greatest feeling ever.
Somebody very important to you back home is recovering. Can you talk about that?
Well, he's doing really well. My dad had a double bypass. I want to say hi. I love my mom and dad. He's doing great, and I can't wait to see him in a week or so.
Congratulations, Brent.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, there's Fedorov down there. He loves it, too. Here's Paul Boyer, one of the unsung heroes. Harry Neal talked about you guys. Tell us what it means to be part of this team, Paul.
It's fantastic. I came here 4 years ago. This is my 4th season with the Wings, and it's just awesome. It's everything I ever dreamed about. Pro hockey is everything I've ever dreamed about. Harry, thank you very much. That's from myself and my partner, John Wharton, my assistant, Tim Abbott. We really appreciate all the good words, Harry. It's just a great feeling to do it twice in a row. It's something that you dream about and you see every year you grow up, and then all of a sudden, you know, it happens. And it's 2 years in a row, and it's better the second time around.
Not bad for a guy from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Congratulations.
Thanks. I want to say hello to my mom and dad and brother Mark and everybody back in the Sioux. Thank you, Sault Ste. Marie. See you later.
There's Paul Boyer, does a lot of the work for the Wings. And Harry, you were right when you had that one. Bob and Harry, to you.
Well, you know, Detroit won the Cup in 1955. They had to wait 42 years to win it again, and they loved it. So they said, let's not wait anymore, and they win it the next year tonight here in Washington. It's a great team.
Yeah, very impressive team. You know, it's hard to find a weak link. They had great goaltending. 6 defensemen played very strongly. They had 2 that never played that could have come in and really done a job. 4 lines. You didn't know who was going to score. I know we talk about their great centers. We talk about Murphy and Lidstrom. But the people who impressed me the most in this playoff were the big wingers for Detroit. All those fights along the boards, all that traffic in front of Kolzig, and those good forechecking hits, that was as big a reason they won as any.
I was so impressed last year when they won the Cup in 4 straight with their organization, if you will. Everybody seemed to be in the right position every time, and it happened again this year. So that's a team.